ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific commenter himself, Zealeus.
Yo!
Yeah.
What's up? Charlie's super stoked this night. You know, Charlie's always excited. He's the Mr. Podcast, and I'm just the guy who just sits here and just about having out random shit.
Yep. Oh, you're in trouble now?
Continue on.
Okay, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple topics that we need to address, as it were. Now, okay, the first one... I'm going to flip the script a little bit. The first one is basically, here's the deal.
We have a script?
Yes.
We have a script.
In my head.
News to me, dude. 8 years, we have a script. This is amazing.
What the... Dude, we used to have a script for the podcast. Remember that email I'd send out before every single podcast that gives a breakdown of exactly who's going to talk about what?
You send emails?
Yes!
Bullshit! There's the problem. I don't read email.
Lord.
Well, 7 years of ruination. We know why now. It's
Right.
basically me.
All right, so here's the deal. We are, fortunately or unfortunately, going to have to chit-chat briefly about that huge controversy that happened a little bit ago about a female individual who has basically been pegged for sexual favors in return for
Favorable reviews.
favorable reviews. Now, there are some other individuals out there who have also done some... okay, so here's the deal. In the video game industry, both on the inside and the outside. The inside are the actual developers. The outside are the game journalists. There's this wonderful thing called diversity. There's both men and women. Sometimes men or women make the wrong choice or say the wrong thing. The unfortunate thing is, right now, we apparently are trying to create, the gaming community are trying to create a shitstorm when a woman does something that they don't agree with. Now, of course, if a guy does something, you're just like, well, that guy's full of shit. What I'm talking about is that I've already named one example. There's a couple other examples where certain journalists have basically voiced their opinion on the fact that it's they feel that there are female characters are basically either brainless, ditzy, have big boobs, are sidekicks, are the comedic relief, and in not a lot of games are they featured as the main character. Now, some people jumped on that opportunity and basically raised hell on the internet, because that's what the internet's for, right? Wrong. But that's besides the point. Everyone...
What's the point? I'm still waiting.
All right, so here's the deal. Those individuals, along with some other individuals, apparently have been harassed and threatened to the extent of people giving out their personal information so people could further harass them.
Which people are these that are being harassed?
The women.
Okay.
So here's the deal, guys. And girls.
And people.
Hermaphrodites. Aliens. Intelligent animals.
Cats. Dogs.
Pantheons of gods. You know what? If you want to come after me, that's fucking fine. I don't really care. I love controversy.
Well, who cares?
Yeah, I know.
It's Charlie.
So here's the deal. Grow a freaking pair. If you want to make a comment, make it constructive. Don't make it destructive. If you think that this girl's full of hot air, then say she's full of hot air and then give a viable reason. Not because she's a stupid, slutty hoe bag. That's not constructive in the least. And to be honest with you, when you report that kind of stuff, especially if you're a journalist, you're putting a black mark on game journalism in general, because as any media outlet would tell you, bad news is the good news. Bad news gives you ratings. It gives you attention. It puts the spotlight on you. Indeed. So guess what happens when you're being a total douchebag to someone individual? Doesn't have to be female, doesn't have to be male, could be Pantheon of God or whatever. You know, we want to cover all our bases here, but let's say that you're being a complete a-hole. about something, and you're not being constructive about it. And then a couple people who have this herd mentality of, oh, that sounds like something that would be fun to say, but I don't have the balls to actually back it up. I'm just going to follow what they say, and I'm going to repost exactly what they say. That's the stuff that people outside of this community see, and that's what they think everyone is like.
Well, it's kind of that perception that among the gaming community, that basically, by and large, it's rather misogynistic.
Yes.
I mean, that is very much perception outside the gaming community. That, you know, and you kind of look at the numbers, and overwhelmingly, especially, you know, from, there's always exceptions depending on the genre in the game,
right.
But by and large, it is male-dominated.
Absolutely.
That's just the reality of it.
Right.
You know, I've been fortunate to be, you know, my social interactions with video games, you know, most guilds, yes, there's a female, usually like 2 or 3 females is actually quite a few in the guilds I've been in. But they've always been treated pretty respectfully. Never really had too much of an issue. Now, I'll be fair and say that they have to have a thick skin. Because inevitably, there's going to be some rather lewd comments made at the females. And I'm not going to repeat here. Now, by the same token, there are definitely very lewd comments made about males, usually among the homophobic type of terms. So it's not to excuse either one, but in any gaming community, you're going to have those type of usually very overtly sexual comments that are made about people regardless of whether they're straight or gay or female or male. People always kind of, in an online gaming community, especially when you get to online chat, is usually where it happens. People just go a little bit over the top. Is not uncommon at all. And you definitely have to have a thick skin. But there's obviously a different level between doing it, you know, in a guild where you actually know the people and there's some kind of actual familiarity, and doing stupid shit like sending out addresses and actively stalking and doing really dumb stuff like that. 2 totally different circumstances. But there is something about online communities and games that just bring out the inner dipshit in people. There definitely is.
Yes.
You know, there's things that people will say and do online, not just in the gaming community. I mean, just look on Facebook anytime, or CNN comments, or YouTube comments. Those are the absolute worst.
Absolutely.
That just bring the absolute retardedness in people. You just look at the comments and like, what the hell's wrong with this person? Obviously, a bunch of them are trolls doing it purposely, but it's kind of like, you ever have that friend who makes those racist jokes, but I'm not a racist? Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same thing with those comments on YouTube. You know, they make those really terrible comments. It's like, oh, but it's just my online persona. But it seems like usually, if they're making those comments somewhere, deep down, that's how they really feel anyways. So yes, they might not say it, but they don't say them out loud to people, but online, they can say whatever they want. And I know there's this push to, you know, make comments attached to a certain persona, like attached to your Facebook account.
Which is that's what Blizzard tried to do with Battle.net.
And they try to make it, oh, your personal name's attached to it, so now you won't be a douchebag. What?
Wasn't it called Real ID or something?
Yeah. Oh, it's an option, though. They never really required it.
Well, it's because there was such a backlash, because you would lose that anonymousness, anonymity.
Yep. But even so, I mean, you look on Facebook, and there's dipshit comments all the time on Facebook. So,
absolutely.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, that's something that probably more of a sociology major or something would have to study. But, you know, it doesn't matter. People just do stupid stuff online. And part of it, too, I think, is a generational thing. You know, you see the kids growing up now, and I don't want to get into the whole, like, oh, this generation, they're terrible. But there's definitely that disconnect of what I say online, guess what? It's going to get back to your real life at some point.
Right. And
believe me, I've tried every school I've been at, and I know every educator runs into this. They just don't get it. And I think they just don't get that what you say online can come back to bite you in the ass in real life.
Right. They don't understand the ramifications of anything that you do or say anywhere that someone else can see can come back to you.
Like even Snapchat. Oh, Snapchat is deleted after 5 seconds. Well, guess what?
There's this wonderful thing called hit the power button and the middle button at the same time. Chink!
You got a screenshot!
Oh, crap. I just took a screenshot of it. Oh, whatever.
Congratulations. And I know schools have had issues, with it's usually a male and female partner, and they're snapping Snapchats, but one or the other is recording selfies. And, or as another guy I know says, selfies are for faces.
Yes, absolutely.
They should be. They should be for faces, but that is not the case. And then it kind of going back to, the kid, they are thinking of long-term ramifications. So they break up, and all of a sudden, before you know it, well, crap. Now
all the pictures are public.
Yes, and yeah. So, and part of it too is it's just how fast that online word spreads.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we were growing up, we were just at the precipice of that online community.
Right.
But it's not nearly what it is now. And even when we were just growing up, it was still very much the playground mentality where it kind of had to spread person to person.
Yep.
But now something happens and everybody knows by the end of school. Because it's all, kids are checking their cell phones and that stuff. There's no way around it.
I mean, information is immediate now.
Mm-hmm.
Be it personal, religious, international, whatever. That's out there. And once it's out there, you can never make it disappear. You can try, but there's someone who's got a backup copy. Believe me.
Especially if it's something
controversial.
Yes, thank you. I was thinking of a good word here. Yes. There are copies out there. You may not think there are, but somewhere hidden in the depths of somebody's bits and ones and zeros.
There's at least someone who's taken a screenshot.
Yes. So be wary.
Yes, indeed.
So, but going back to the original topic at hand, obviously, trading favors of any kind for reviews are probably not something I would say that we're in favor of.
No.
But it doesn't. Yes, obviously, probably that was not the best thing, but that obviously does not give people the right to make their life a living hell. And I don't even call it retaliation. It's just because they can be douchebags about it, really what it comes down to. It just gives them a reason to beat their chest and just be obnoxious little dipshits, basically.
Well, it's because they know the attention's on, so they're going to just pile on. Look, ladies and gentlemen, she's learned her lesson, okay? She's probably scarred for life because of the lesson by itself. You don't have to do any more. You don't have to do any more. It's done. All right. Now that we hit that topic, let's get into the real one, and this is called the Charlie Soapbox Pledge.
I'll just sit back here and drink beer.
Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to say a very popular website, and I apologize if I offend any.
UltraConfusion.com.
Okay, that's one, but I'm talking about a slightly more popular. Oh damn. Okay, real quick. My mom is at a talk at the High Museum of Art. It's with Sid Mead, who's like a shit ton of credentials to it. Just Google him. It's SYDMEAD. Okay. Anyways,
I have no idea who that is.
Google it afterwards, and you'll be like, "Holy crap, that dude is awesome." Anyways, okay. All right, I'm going to say the name of a very popular website, and you know what? F it. I don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the gigantic monster that is GiantBomb.com.
GiantBomb.com.
GiantBomb.com. GiantBomb.com.
The bomb is giant. Apparently.
GiantBomb.com was formed by two individuals. One, Ryan Davis, who unfortunately, rest his soul, has now passed. And the other one was Jeff Gerstmann. Jeff Gerstmann was the guy who infamously got fired, from GameSpot because he refused to actually give a sponsor review and actually gave a legitimate review of a game that was total crap.
I remember that.
I believe it was Lynching King.
Yes, because that was the one that was a big controversy because I remember GameSpot's whole website was like plastered with Lynching King and the game sucked. I totally remember that.
Yes, okay. So they formed, and then a bunch of GameSpot people they basically did an exodus. They're like, well, if you kick Gerstmann out, who is a very well-known reviewer, then we're going to. And of course, a bunch of them, they ended up at Giant Bomb. Okay, those guys, cool. Got no problem with them. It's the way that the website is run. It is brilliant from a business point of view, ladies and gentlemen.
Brilliant!
Brilliant. But I warn you this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you think that by voicing your opinion, your ideas, the information you've gathered on the internet, on Giant Bomb, you're going to become famous, you got another thing coming. Giant Bomb is basically the video game version of Wikipedia, except they don't put sources on there. What they want you to do is they want you to manipulate any data that you find and make it original so they can claim it as their own. So basically what you're doing is you're in a perpetual state of early access, because I'm going to bring it back to video games now. You're in a perpetual state of early access where you're doing almost all of the work. And Giant Bomb is reaping all the benefits. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the bigger Giant Bomb gets, the more information they're able to harvest and show to potential sponsors and clients, the more money they can make. Yes, sir.
How is that different than Wikipedia, sir?
Wikipedia actually has links back to source material. And also, Wikipedia, yes, they do have some banners, but the vast majority of it is a donation network.
Very true.
Okay, so here's the deal. You want to know why Giant Bomb wants you to basically, well, let's go with let's say Gears of War.
Gears of War.
Because I see my Gears of War toys over there.
The Grenadier, Phoenix, and Santiago.
Exactly. Gears of War. Let's say you find all the information straight from their website. You, of course, have to manipulate it so it's not straight from their website. Because, God forbid, someone actually does a copyright check and go, oh shit, you pulled it straight from our website, Giant Bomb, you're in trouble. What Giant Bomb wants you to do is they want you to manipulate everything just enough to be like, I don't know, it's iffy. Okay, we're not going to touch it. And then Giant Bomb, of course, has all the information in one place where you never have to leave, which, of course, then sucks in more people, which is brilliant.
Why would I just go to Wikipedia?
Because Giant Bomb has surpassed Wikipedia with random facts about obscure stuff when it comes to video games. Not everything can be found to the level. Because the other thing is, Wikipedia, it's almost always the facts. Giant Bomb, it is heavily flavored with opinion. Okay. Now, here's my problem, and this is also why Alter Confusion currently cannot post anything on Giant Bomb. Because I refuse to do that. I was utilizing Giant Bomb's wiki section to inform everyone of all of these indie studios. And basically what I wanted to do was I didn't want to fuck up. So I took all the information I could find about a company. For example, we're just going to say Data Lake Entertainment.
Yep.
And I went, badoom. Here's Data Lake Entertainment background, the information, here's all the games, da-da-da-da-da. Nope! That's not going to work. You can't post that on our wiki. Why? Because it's straight from another website. Correct. Because it's correct information. And the deal is, I was the first one to touch. I don't know if it was Data Lake Entertainment, but something along those lines. I was the first one to touch it. So let's say the first 1,000 people who hit this site, or hit this wiki page, read what my interpretation is, and they get the wrong idea about the company because I had to change it in a way to make it original. No. Look, if you're concerned about information, just reach out. Giant Bomb, all you got to do is reach out to the company and say, hey, look, we would like the information straight from you. Or you can validate that it's okay to have this information on the website.
Okay, here's what I don't get.
What's that?
Okay, in the age of internet, I get the concern from Giant Bomb's perspective about copyright. Mm-hmm. What I don't get is I don't really hear of websites being sued for copyright infringement for copying information about a game or company information.
Right.
If you're copying information about a game or the company, facts, stuff like that, it's not. I know people get sued over a lot of stupid shit. That's one thing you don't really hear about for copyright infringement is copying actual text data. Just saying.
I know it's so weird.
That's one thing you don't get sued for.
I've never heard of someone going, "Oh my God, you just informed thousands of more people of our company, and you stole it straight from our website. What the hell's wrong with you?" Oh wait, now you've got 1,000 more eyes on your. What the?
Yeah, that's something that doesn't really hold the.
Right.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Okay, so needless to say, what happened with Giant Bomb is that things escalated a little bit because I thought it was total bullshit, and
Really?
Yes, and I lost my temper a little bit, and I basically said that the moderators of Giant Bomb were a bunch of pretentious pricks, and I said that
Constructive criticism.
in the message. Well, I was trying to be as constructive as possible, but sometimes, even a little bit of true anger pokes through. But the vast majority of it were valid points. Okay, so I'm not going to call out the administrator that I had to deal with because I think that is unfair. I am not trying to single this individual out, though I've had issues with this individual specifically on several different occasions. But we'll talk.
So
about
this
that
isn't
later.
a first time issue.
No, this is not the first time I've had to deal with this guy or person. It might be girl, might be dude. I don't know. I do know, but I'm not going to.
Could be a cat.
Could be a cat. Could be a superhero. I don't know.
Ooh.
So here's the deal. This individual came back and said that they're not only concerned about the fact that I'm being so yielding about the fact that I want to put just the facts for these wiki pages.
Really, who wants just facts? It's
I know.
so boring, man.
But they also went ahead and stated that I violated the guidelines of the forum by calling them pretentious pricks. Now, Zealeus, tell me what interesting fact does this kind of go, huh?
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So, your conversation with the forum people at Giant Bomb,
Mm-hmm.
where do these conversations actually take place?
In a private message.
So, not in the forums.
Correct.
So, has anybody outside of people who get these private messages, or you, because I've never even seen them, I have no desire to actually see them, but has anybody outside of you people actually seen these conversations?
To my knowledge, no.
So, they're not actually on the forums.
Correct.
So, they're breaking a guideline for something that doesn't really exist.
Correct.
Okay, that's interesting.
Indeed. The second piece is that they also froze, like I said, they froze my ability to post stuff. Now that, of course, extends past wiki posts. That also extends to the posting of game reviews, which I am still the #2 user game reviewer, because they fear that I am using my time, my post, my energy on Giant Bomb to basically commercialize for something else. Mainly Altered Confusion, which of course my username is altered_confusion.
Which I might add is quite the commercial hit with its huge income. Because, I'm getting paid bank with
beer. And, well, you had pork tenderloin in it.
Ooh, the pork tenderloin was pretty awesome.
So he is getting fed.
This is true. So this is really big commercial enterprise right here, guys.
Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone that posts anything that has their opinion in it is, in a sense, selling themselves. You are the product. I'm a product. He's a product. We're both together, the Ultra Confusion product. Anytime, what we're doing right now is commercialization. We're presenting a product, our opinions. So actually, technically, everyone's account on Giant Bomb should be locked down because they're selling themselves because they're telling you their opinions.
I will say I can see one difference from their standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Like the devil advocate here,
Mm-hmm.
is my assumption from your perspective is you wish to drive people from reading your articles, hopefully to the Ultra Confusion website. Whereas other reviewers, they might not have their own personal website, so they're just doing it because, hey, I want to post my review. So from that perspective, where you have your website, which is a company, and through using Giant Bomb, you are trying to really commercialize the website instead of just, maybe becoming popular on giantbomb.com. So from that perspective, I can kind of see where they're coming from.
True.
I mean, but still, because it still seems kind of silly because if they're reading a review on Giant Bomb, it's still driving traffic to GiantBomb.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like it's a secret portal to Ultra Confusion where we get the ad, So no matter what,
there's the only links that are contained within the reviews. Because basically, what I do is I just take the review from Ultra Confusion and I post it in Giant Bomb.
Yep.
The only links on any of those reviews were either to the actual game's website or the developer's website.
Yeah.
So I'm actually driving traffic to the people behind the game.
Not yourself. Yeah, so I mean, I can kind of see what they're saying, but it still doesn't hold that much water in my opinion.
The other thing is, what you're going to see is Ultra Confusion. Oh my God, he's reading a lot of reviews. Okay, cool. Maybe you'll check out to see if he does other stuff. But the vast majority of the time, if you read the review,
you really don't care, yeah.
Because you read the review because you're interested in that specific game.
Yep. I would concur, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I know Giant Bomb is an awesome thing, and the guys are for the most part, really cool and awesome. I would tell you to, okay, if you want to start something like a Giant Bomb, like an Ultra Confusion, like some kind of game news review opinion, something like that, don't post on Giant Bomb because they'll probably come after you after a while because I did it for 5 years. And I'm also a gold subscriber to Giant Bomb, which apparently is like, I'm throwing money at them for nothing.
Well, now you are, yes.
No. I never got anything in return for my money.
It's just something you do.
Yeah. I wanted to support them.
Yeah.
And so, as I supported them, of course, yes, I'm going to post my stuff.
Yeah.
The vast majority of Ultra Confusion is my stuff. So I'm going to give you, if it's important enough on Ultra Confusion, I'm going to throw it on to Giant Bomb because I know Giant Bomb has the bigger audience. And yes, I hope that some people do go from Giant Bomb to Ultra Confusion and maybe check out more of my stuff.
Well, and how does that even hurt Giant Bomb?
Right, exactly. They're still going to start a Giant Bomb. One of the early issues with this specific administrator was that I apparently was not active enough in the wiki section and the forum section, and when they were looking for fan, this is back when we were doing podcasts.
Oh yes.
They were doing spotlight on fan podcast, and they're like, "Oh no, we're not going to do yours because you don't support Giant Bomb enough." I'm like, "Are you shitting me? I was there, trying, support, yelling with support for Ryan and Jeff day one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been with you. I've been with this website since the beginning, and you're saying I'm not a big enough supporter? I'm not involved enough on the website?
I hear you're the number 2 reviewer on the website?
Yeah.
Which is probably what people go to the website for, is
reviews. Or information. Okay, yes. The wiki definitely has a lot of information. But chances are you're going to look at the review first and go, oh, okay. Well, it sounds like a cool character. Let's see if I can find more information on that character. And you can look it up on the wiki.
Mm-hmm. You all right there?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
You feel better now?
Yes, I do.
Got that off your chest?
Yep.
Good man.
Okay, so Zealeus doesn't know this, but we're going to say it anyways. Ultra Confusion, of course, as I stated before, and something slightly different yesterday, we are going to explore a couple additional avenues. Now, they're not going to be game-related, but this is going to be more of an Ultra Confusion, the place to alter your confusion. Not gaming confusion, but... Oh! No, don't touch that button. Oh, God. Are we still alive? Yes, okay.
Let's touch the arrow keys. That should be fine.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Arrow keys don't do shit, man.
Well, I don't know what this thing is. I don't know what's the active window.
Oh, I don't know.
So anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yes.
We're
Ultra
doing
Confusion is a place to alter your confusion.
I know we're going to alter your cat confusion.
Lord. Zealeus is going to start doing a weekly cat podcast.
I'm just going to get Rose, and I'm just going to put her in front of the camera. It's going to be awesome. Hey, the cats are the big thing in the internet, man.
That's true. There's a special project that's probably going to start tomorrow. I don't know when it's going to be posted. I can't really tell you about it, but it should be cool. Of course, I did talk about the other project. I don't know when I'll actually start or if I'll actually do it, but it would be fun just to do it. And that, of course, is what's up behind here.
Which we can all read.
It says Random Short Story Theater.
You're just going to read short stories?
No, I'm going to make up short stories off the top of my head and just tell them.
You're a better man than I.
I know.
I'm going to be like, the wizard shot the ogre. The ogre flailed. He knew not what to do. He died. The end.
Oh, yay! Woo!
Thank
Shakespeare,
you.
man!
I
Shakespeare!
Pour out thy heart. It has been shot by thy light out of thine eyes.
There it is. Yeah,
Okay.
Too.
I'm done.
So anyways, there's going to be some extra Alta Confusion stuff, and then there might be another thing that I'm not exactly sure about, but I'll tell you. You'll probably see it before I tell you. So, yeah. Yeah, is that enough mystery for you out there? Woo!
I'm excited. Yeah.
You should be. Okay, so here's the deal. We have now breached the 30-minute mark, so we're going to end the recording piece, but we're going to continue to do the Twitch piece as we usually do. Now, of course, we would like to take this time to thank all of you who have watched this, both live and recorded, for taking time out of your busy schedule. And, of course, if you want to leave any comments, be them good, critical, or any questions for us, the Alta Confusion team, you can, of course, comment on this video on YouTube, on Alta Confusion, or, of course, you can click on the Contact Us page, which is a button at the top of the Alta Confusion banner, menu bar. And then, of course, it goes straight to me. And then, of course, if it's for Zealeus, I will then pass it on to Zealeus. But once again, thank you for tuning into the Alta Confusion Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and it's been yet another pleasurable Thursday to be with you. And I hope to see you next week.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.